Welcome to Widener's Weather Wagers. And we got the real SCav again. How you doing, Sam?
Be a lot better if Tom Brady didn't set a record this weekend.
Yeah, that was an interesting game there. We'll this is our usual Tuesday episode here. What's the date today? November
29th.
29th.
November 29th recap.
November 29th. Almost December. So, we'll get into it, give a little recap, and then give the usual outlook for the upcoming weekend to see if there's anything exciting looking out there with the weather or any of Sam's plays. And
any exciting, weather in general. Maybe not even related to sports.
Yeah. Anything in general. So a little.
How was your Thanksgiving? How was your Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving was good. It started off good on Thursday with Mississippi State and Ole Miss, and some good turkey and family. I mean, right?
Yeah, the Egg Bowl was my college play there as well. Mississippi State came through in the rivalry for me. I was very thankful.
That was your pick. That was your pick from the video last Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
And it was a game I had mentioned that I was looking at. We weren't really sure how this storm was going to play out because it hadn't formed yet, and it was definitely a tough forecast all week. So I think I waited. I think the day before I said I was laying off of it. The next day, the day of, a couple hours into or before the game, I happened to look and I checked the radar, and it was looking like it was actually forming, pretty quickly, and going to get there at least for the second half, and it did. I think some rain started in the second quarter and was heavy most of the second half. So that was posted on my Twitter at @undermike626.
Follow that, man, and subscribe and get the alerts. If you set the alerts on Twitter, it's so handy because basically it'll give you a push notification and you'll see the tweet and you'll be able to get it at whatever line under Mike.
Yeah, and that was the case where, once in a while it's like that, depending on how the radar looks. And so it was one that I thought, all right, let's get it now. I had it at 63 and it ended at 24-22, so 46 total points. And you hit your, plus 2.5 for Mississippi State.
Yep. Didn't need it. Didn't need it.
So that was a good one. So yeah, Thanksgiving went well, and then we moved on to the weekend, and under Mike didn't do so hot. Had a bad break or two in there.
That'll happen. Hey, that's
you're not going to win them all,
right? And we know there's going to be bad breaks, and there'll be good breaks hopefully as well, and they'll even out in the long run hopefully. I mentioned earlier. So I was on Tampa minus 2.5, 3, whatever.
Yeah, well, you thought it was 9, right?
Exactly. So real value at Tom Brady up 17-10 with less than 2 minutes to go. His first loss, he was 218-0 with a 7-point lead, less than 2 minutes to go, and I got him to lose. So I feel pretty proud of myself.
Yeah,
I'm pretty proud.
That's incredible. I mean, that game was my pick from the video on Tuesday, the Tampa Bay Cleveland under 43. So that did hit. I didn't really have to worry too much about overtime. I guess it could have went awry if they each got field goals and then a touchdown.
Yeah, but there's only 10-minute overtime, so it's
not likely. So that one, but that was 17-10 late in the fourth, and then they gave up the late touchdown, and that just blows my mind. How many times do you see that with teams just? I mean, this one you said it was they were starting at the 45-yard line, but still, they don't give up that many points all game, and then they'll lay back and let them go down.
Yeah, you see it even like you said. Even that in this case, they started good field position, but all game, they're stopping them, and then when the team really needs to score, they almost play with a little bit more urgency, and then the other team is playing with less urgency. They're sitting back, and it leads to points.
That's the one thing about football that I feel like I could be a better coach than some of these coaches, but everything else, I mean, I don't really know too much, but but why? Yeah, I don't understand. You just see it way too often, and But any case, it stayed under, which was good. You lost, which was bad.
But it's like The Simpsons. But that's good. It's got benzene, but that's bad.
While we're on overtime games, this was the one that really hurt and kept me from being in the positives on the week. It was the Kent State Buffalo game, which had some pretty heavy wins there. I think it was in the 20s most of the game, and it was on pace for under. I stopped following it until I think I got a message from you or Stu or someone, and it was 24-10 the last I had seen. I think it was 6-7 minutes left, and there we go, the same type of deal.
So funny enough, I was at the Penn State Michigan State game, and that's another one I did not bet the under. Yeah. But I should have texted you. I'm telling you, when you actually go to these games,
yeah,
like I had my girlfriend actually was able to get field passes, so I was on the field before the game, and you really feel the wind down there.
Really?
It wasn't that windy down there. I was watching some of the kicks and everything, but it was still daylight at that time. It wasn't that cold. Once we sat in our seats, I was like, it was like it's getting chilly. I can feel the wind, and even that little bit of wind in the cold, I feel like hurt some of the points. Like, so that was one. So I'm not that game you mentioned. So it screwed you, but if you remember, I didn't make it an official play, but I said I would go with. I leaned towards Kent State if it was a under type game, and I actually had wagered Kent State myself. And I checked the score to see they were down 24-10, and I'm like, well, it's over with 6 or 7 minutes to go. Yeah. Crazy enough story I'll mention on here. So I don't know if I think I might not send it to you. I played a parlay on FanDuel, and I played 2 teams that were dogs straight up. I played Michigan, and I played Kent State as moneyline dogs. Nice. And then I played like 6 favorites, and I threw one big favorite in there. Clemson, who lost by 1. If Clemson wins, I hit my parlay for 3,700. Clemson, oh my God, a enormous favorite. Everything else,
they were a huge favorite.
Yeah, so that fun little. If you're new to the show and you need to get to know @TheRealSCav, that's my Twitter follow. If you want to follow me there, you want to get to know me better. That's how I lose. Why even put Clemson in there? Why put a minus?
Why? Yeah. What did that give you? An extra like $100?
I mean, it might have added at that level. It might have added me like $400 or something. 400. But I mean, so I did make money because I did. So I played the 8-game parlay straight, and then I played round robins of the 7s and as well. So I hit. It was kind of like a backup in case something like stupid like that happened. So I ended up profiting overall. I might have like doubled my money, but instead of doubling my money, I would have hit a monster. And but it's funny because you mentioned Kent State, and that was the game. I was like, well, it's over. Kent State lost, and then ESPN was all weird. You sent the screenshot. I saw.
I had no idea what was going on. I'm like, every time I saw a number pop up, I'm like, well, I guess this is bad. But then it reverted back to the old score, and then I didn't know what was going on. So it was the same deal on yours too.
Same thing. And then when I saw the actual score, I got excited, and then I saw Clemson lost, and I said a few terrible things. And
that one. So that was under 53, and then 20. What did I say it was? 20. What did it go to overtime?
The score is 24-10.
24-10. So 2 touchdowns.
24 overtime.
6 minutes. We would have needed a missed field goal there and luck out of there. But that went over just because of the overtime. So that was our bad loss of the week on the underside. And then the Chicago Jets game, that was just, I mean, who would have thunk that the Jets score 31 points and it still only went over by 2 points. And
it's tough. It's tough probably right now to play any Chicago under because of how bad that defense is. They're so bad.
Yeah.
They made Mike White look like White Mike,
Wow. Oh, man. But that was I was watching that game and I had to turn it off. I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, when
There
you're
was,
when you're an under Mike guy, like watching something like that's just got to stab you in the heart.
when it actually, the forecast, I played it right. It was the worst weather game in that area where that rain was kind of hard to determine, but that one had pretty steady to even heavy rain in a lot of the second half and even some of the first half. I think it started in the second quarter, and it was just they couldn't stop them, and it slowed down then in the fourth, but the game was out of line, out of hand, and it was already over. So that was a tough one. So we ended up 2-3 on the unders that I posted between the video and the Twitter. The last one was the Troy Arkansas State under 46. I think that line had dropped to 43 before the game. It was involved in that same rainy system, a little bit of wind. It wasn't one that I could have played way ahead of time. It was just one, I sent a tweet out. It was kind of looking bad. Not the worst, and that game was actually trending under for a while. And then I think that was the one where Troy scored 30-some points in the fourth quarter. It was something crazy, but I know there's like an interception return and then all kinds of stuff, but
that's why everybody's got to follow you on Twitter and subscribe and just have the alerts set for the tweets. I do that for a bunch of people.
Yeah.
That game, funny you mentioned that. So I needed Troy to lose that straight up, and they were in trouble for a while. I bet earlier in the season that South Alabama would win the conference.
Oh, okay.
And so I got 12-1, and South Alabama finished tied in their division with frickin' Troy, but lost the heads-up game to Troy.
Oh, okay.
I think like 9-7 or something stupid. So if South Alabama's only loss was to Troy, so they lose the tiebreaker, and thus I lose my chance at a nice 12-1 score. So
always something. So that was our week. Under Mike, it was a 2-3 week. It brings my total to 11-5 of posted plays, whether on the video or on the Twitter. I started this 3 weeks ago with a post on that Thursday night game affected by the tropical system in Carolina. So that was a 1-0 week. The following week, it was the 8-2 when that was our first week together on the video. And then this past week, 2-3. So that's 11-5 total. And I believe you were 3-3 on the picks you have given out with the one lean. That could be 4-3 if you.
Yeah, we'll just skip it to the ones I gave out. So I'm trying to. The first week, I think I'm 2-3, based on like official plays. I think because 1-2 the first week, and then 1-1 last week.
Okay, I had 2-2.
What the first week?
Hawaii and Texas.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I forgot. Yeah, Texas was like my special. We can just lump them all together. Texas was a non-weather play. Yeah, so 3-3. I do have 2 plays this week, clearly non-weather related. One college, one NFL. My college play is going to be Kansas State. Last I saw getting 2.5. If you can find 3, obviously take it. Kansas State plus 2.5 in the Big 12 championship game against TCU. TCU's coming off I think they beat Iowa State, a really good defensive team, 62-14. I think that's going to be fresh on some people's minds, and I think that TCU, and I've thought this way for a while, is overrated, and I think that it catches up to them this game.
Mm-hmm.
My official pick's the plus 2.5. Myself, I'll probably just play the money line and take like the plus 120 or plus 125 because so many times it really doesn't come down to a point game. It just depends how I'm feeling at the time, and what the difference is in the money line and the juice. But I like that for the college. And then NFL, the game I'm giving is the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I know they're laying a lot, 10.5 or 11. I'm telling you, the Colts winning that first game was Saturday was just a complete mirage. That team, I watched them again last night. I liked Pittsburgh before the game, and everything I watched just tells me that I don't think he's like on the sidelines, but he doesn't do anything. He just stands there and he's not in. I don't think he's really doing anything like late game situations. He's not calling timeouts. He's not, and I just don't really know how bought in this team's going to be once now the kind of the newness, once that new car smell goes away.
I was thinking about women, right? But yeah, whatever.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah. You want maybe the players are like, all right, like this guy was full of shit. Dallas is just if that team when they're hitting on the right cylinders is going to be tough, and they can make games blowouts quick because the way it works is if the offense is clicking and they get up, then you have to throw the ball, and that means you can unleash Micah Parsons.
Yeah, I was going to say
him, the score can get out of hand so quick.
Offensive line is awful, and Matt Ryan can't move. And
right, yeah. So I know it seems like a lot of points, and I just don't think it's going to be nearly enough. And I'm all day laying the 10.5 or 11 with Dallas. That's my two picks.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely gonna
put the 10.5 because there's at least one or two places available at 10.5.
Okay. I'll put that as my 16 in the pool we're in together. Don't be mad.
Now, maybe I said that, so in the pool I can. Yeah.
Well, that sounds good. Unfortunately, I don't really have any good weather stuff to talk about. Not yet, but yeah, it's unfortunate because there are two pretty big systems with a lot of wind coming across the country this week, and it looks like they are going to miss every game. Now, of course, like you said, there's not the big college slate. There's not games all over the place, where you can always find, some different weather and everything like that. But this is all over. I mean, the games that are on Saturday, the championship games, unfortunately,
domes.
Unfortunately, some are in domes, yeah. And what was it? The Toledo, Ohio. I was looking. I was like, oh wow, it's in Detroit. 20-some mile-per-hour winds. Oh yeah, it's in the it's in the Ford Field. What is it? Ford Field Dome or whatever it is. It's like that don't help. But yeah, there's a couple that we'll keep a little bit of an eye on. The Akron Buffalo game is being made up. Why is it even being made up? Does Buffalo have a chance at something to get? I don't think so. No, I just, in the bowl, or
I think it's just. That's true. It could be bowl. I didn't look at the records. It could be possible if a team needs a sixth win, or maybe they just want the kids to have fun and play.
Yeah, I mean they probably would have had more fun in the snow, but
yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's so close. It's so close. There's a couple storms coming in, as I said, and Buffalo. I was just looking. It's going to be like 20 to 30 mile-per-hour winds Wednesday and Thursday. This game falls on Friday at 1 p.m. It looks like the winds are going to kick up later on in the evening on Friday. Saturday, heavy winds again in Buffalo. So there's a couple systems I'll keep an eye on with any timing changes in this. If the one storm hangs on a little bit. If the one storm is a little bit faster or slower, we could work in a window where we get some wind there and maybe play it. But it's nothing I'm going to play right now. I think they're calling 10 to 15 at game time, so that's nothing we can really do with that. And then the NFL, again, there's going to be a departing storm system on Thursday for the Buffalo New England game. If you look now at Foxborough, they're calling for winds on Thursday, probably 15 to 20 miles per hour, but that's during the day. You look at the nighttime, it's bumped way down. If you look at the model runs, you'll see wind during the day with the system moving away, and then at night it's going to really die down. It looks to be maybe 8 to 10 miles per hour during the actual game. So nothing we can do there unless the storm would slow down a bit. but we would probably have a real good idea of that by tomorrow, and I'll post if anything changes.
Okay. Yeah. At under Mike 626.
You got it. And as far as the Sunday games, there's a high pressure building in on the East. The games are going to be decent weather. All of the home games, home teams on the East Coast, hardly any wind. And looks like San Francisco, there's a chance in they're still in Santa Clara, right? There's a chance of some rain coming in out there, but it doesn't look like a windy system. It just looks like some showers. It's worth keeping an eye on, but nothing we can bet on now. And other than that, there isn't really anything exciting this week. So it's going to be, I'll post if anything changes, but that's going to be it.
I just threw up on the video your Twitter handle at under Mike 626.
There we go.
Hit that up, subscribe to that. You guys have my 2 picks. K-State win that game, cause a little chaos in the college football playoff, and the Dallas Cowboys. And for everybody watching out there, I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan, so no, I'm not a Cowboys homer. Like giving out this pick. No, it's just what I actually think. And I've said for a while. I mean, I know everybody's loving Frisco, but I don't know. To me, I think it's going to come down to the Eagles and Cowboys. I for a while was still believing in Brady and the Bucks, but to watching these games, I just don't know.
Somehow they're probably still going to make the playoffs, but
yeah, because they're in a garbage division right now. Yeah. Every team in the NFC East is in.
Yeah, right. It's crazy. Just never expected it to be like that, but yeah, it should be interesting how it all plays out. But that's all I got for tonight. Anything else, or from your side?
No, that's everything that I have. I was just messing around with the banners here. Cowboys.
Oh, nice. Look at this. We're getting all official now.
So no, yeah, it's a fun. We're gonna keep trying to get this a little bit better and better. Where neither of us are strong on the technological side,
Hey,
I am now.
Yeah, you are now.
I'm 40. You're pushing 40, so we're old. But this is fun. So yeah, that's it for this week. And we'll be back at you guys next week then.
Awesome. See you later. Have a good night.
Later.
See ya.